Hello, all. So recently, I have been wanting to go through all the Bridgerton seasons and rewatch them again. And also, I've been wanting to rewatch Queen Charlotte, which was the spinoff, like a prequel to the Bridgerton series. But that got me thinking about what other spinoffs that I would want for them to make based off Bridgerton. I know there has been some rumors and some talk going around that there are other spinoffs they want to do. I'm not sure if they're in the works yet, but I know there are other spinoffs a part of this Bridgerton story they would definitely want to go into. So I'm going to give my ideas for anyone who is listening, and feel free to take these, and I hope to see them in the future. And if you would like me to be a part of the production team, like just an assistant, I'm fine with that. Call me up. I'm here. I'm ready. Okay. The first spinoff I would love to see is one focusing on Violet Bridgerton. I know there's been some speculation that this one might be next. And if that is so, I'm here for it. We all see Violet Bridgerton now as the mother of the 8 Bridgerton siblings and how she has raised them and wants them all to find a true love match that she had the privilege of finding when she was younger. So she wants that for all of her kids. So I would love to see her and Edmund's love story about when they met, how they fell in love, and how everything happened and came to be. I think that would just be so cute because honestly, their love started this whole Bridgerton family, and we now have that series. So I would love to see one on Violet Bridgerton and her love with Edmund. So my thing for this one, for the Violet one, similar to how they did Queen Charlotte, I'm wondering if they will do like Violet and maybe another person in her story as well. And for me, the person that would make sense to be a part of this story is Lady Featherington, because they're both around the same age. So they probably were coming out and introduced to society around the same time. And they are neighbors. They're right across from each other. So I'm wondering how long they have been in these prospective houses with their husbands. So similar to Queen Charlotte, how we have her story, and then we kind of saw Lady Danbury's story, and then we also kind of saw a little bit of Brimsley's story. I would love to have something similar happen in one with Violet Bridgerton, where we see her story, but we also get a little bit of someone else, and I would love for that to be Lady Featherington. So here's one idea I was thinking of, and I don't know if this one would even work, but one was maybe they both fell in love with Edmund, like maybe Lady Featherington always had a crush on Edmund, and then he found Violet, and he was actually in love with Violet, and chose to marry her and be with her. So I was like, ooh, that'd be an interesting story. Like maybe they were all tangled together. But again, I don't know if that would make sense because at least now in this Bridgerton story, we don't see Lady Featherington have any like animosity towards Lady Bridgerton. It's more of she wants to be on their level and wants to be into their family, like have good relation with them. So even though I think it'd be an interesting story if somehow she and Edmund were somehow like maybe friends or she had a thing for him, but he didn't show it back. I think that'd be very interesting, but I don't know if that would make sense because of the relationship Lady Featherington and Lady Bridgerton have now, because like they're not enemies, but they're not the best of friends. They're in-laws, but they were never, at least in my opinion, like hardcore enemies like that hated each other. But the reason I said that for Lady Featherington is because we see her not in a love match. So I think it'd be very interesting to see the juxtaposition of how we see following one story where the Bridgertons are in a love match and are truly in love with each other and so happy. But then we see Lady Featherington's love life and it's not like that. She doesn't have the privilege of having a love match or finding a man to fall in love with and marrying him. She has basically what she has been telling her daughters is you need to find a good prospect to secure your future, and that's what she does. So I think it'll be just very interesting to see the difference between how they're both kind of entering the marriage mart or who they marry. But if we don't get a connection with Lady Featherington and Edmund, I think it'd be interesting to still see her story, but maybe she did have someone she did love and was truly in love with and wanted to marry, but for some reason she couldn't, or it wouldn't seal her future, or something happened where that would not work out, and she had to marry someone else to further herself in society, something like that. So, in my opinion, that would be very, very interesting. I like that one kind of a little bit more. Just seeing like maybe she did have someone and there's the heartbreak and seeing her where she ends up. And we know that who she ends up with is not the best character, not the best man. So just knowing that, but we kind of get to see her before that happens and see what caused her to make this decision, or if she did love someone, why couldn't she marry them? So I think that'd be very powerful, and at least in my opinion, I would love to see that, and kind of how Lady Featherington came to be. Speaking of Lady Featherington, I would also like to see a spin-off of the Featheringtons, even if it's like a one season limited series thing. Like, it doesn't have to be continuous. I don't even know what the premise would be. Like, maybe they're on a family vacation or outing, or they all like leave London for a little bit and they all together with their husbands, like the daughters. I don't know. But during Penelope's season, I really did enjoy seeing them all together and them interacting. And I want to see more of them on my screen. I would love to see all the daughters and their husbands, and how all the daughters really found guys that are like in love with them and really care about them. So I would love to see that, and kind of see Lady Fet, how happy she is that all her daughters are loved. And maybe that can be part of her spinoff. Like, we see where they are currently and she's kind of reflecting on how she didn't have that, or maybe she did, but she couldn't have the happily ever after she wanted. So maybe that's part of their story. Maybe it's the Featheringtons and we kind of get a look back at Lady Featherington if she's not a part of the Violet Bridgerton story. But I definitely want to see more of the Featheringtons. I had a great time with them in season 3, so I want that back. And even a little bit in season 4 when we see just the husbands interacting. That was just so cute. So I want more of that. Whatever capacity we can get the Featheringtons, I definitely want them on the screen more. So if we can get like a little spin-off limited series of like a Featherington season, I would not object. So I know we already had a Queen Charlotte spin-off, and it was beautiful. It's literally my favorite of the Bridgerton family story. That's my favorite one of all time. They kind of left us with some more questions, and that is what happened to Brimsley's, what was his name? Whoever Brimsley was with, forget his name. But what happened to him, the king's man? I need to know. And I feel like they wouldn't leave us with so many questions unless they planned on answering it in the future. So I'm wondering if that's going to be some type of spinoff. And I don't know if it would be like a Queen Charlotte season 2, or if they would do one just on Brimsley and his life. I don't know. But I need to know what happened to this man, because them just not telling us, but we just know he's not there anymore, is crazy work. So I need to know. So I would be down for a Queen Charlotte season 2 anyway, but I need to know what happens to that man. So after watching season 4 and we kind of got to see more of the servants and the help in the households, I want to spin off with just those people. They were funny. I had a good time. I was like, why are these people not on our screens more? So I think we should have a spin-off with just the servants or the help or the maids, the ladies' maids, whatever. I just want a story and a spin-off about them. Similar to like a Downton Abbey-esque thing where we see the family and we see the people that are like the working class who work for the family. I want to see that in Bridgerton. And again, we can spin off and maybe we see glimpses or little scenes with the main cast. Like maybe they go to help them and we see Eloise or we see Lady Featherington being helped, but they wouldn't be the main story. It'd be our ladies' maids and our butlers and whoever else the help. It would be focused on them. I would love to see that. I think that'd be a really good one. And again, if it's just like a one-time limited series, I'm down for the cause. But I need more of them. I just thought it was so entertaining, and I think if they had a spinoff with just those people, it could be very successful and very, very good. And I didn't mention this before, but I would love a Lady Danbury spinoff. I know we got a little bit in Queen Charlotte too, kind of like her marriage, but I kind of want to see how she became Lady Danbury. like even more. Like after her husband died, the journey she took to become the woman she is, and how people really respect and admire her opinion and her status. So I would love to see more of that of Lady Danbury. Again, I'm not quite sure how much they would do because we kind of saw a little bit of her origin story, but I want even more. She's such a powerful woman. I think we can do more with Lady Danbury. And the last one, not really a spinoff, but in the books, we have so many epilogue scenes that after we get the story of all 8 Bridgerton siblings, I would be down for an epilogue season. I know some people don't like epilogues, but I am a lover of the epilogue in a book. I love it. So I'm here and I'm casting my vote for an epilogue season. So when all the siblings have their own story, I want an additional season, and I want each episode, 8 episodes, to follow each couple. And I think that will fill me so much because I don't want y'all cramming all these epilogue episodes into the final season when it's supposed to be about one of the siblings. I want them to get their whole season like they deserve. And then I want an additional season where we have each episode focusing on a couple and where they are. I think that would be lovely because how more perfect is that? Y'all have been doing 8 episode seasons. There's 8 siblings and each one of them can have an episode in the final season. And we get to see where their life is right now. I would love that. So we can see them with all the little kiddos that they may or may not have. We can see what they're doing in their careers or their futures, where they're going. I love that idea for us. So I'm putting that in there now, an epilogue season. And I feel like it fits perfectly for Bridgerton. Bring all the cast back for that last season and we get to see where everybody's at. I think it works out fine. So those are all the stories and spin-offs I would love to see in the overall Bridgerton universe. But definitely let me know in the comments below what type of spin-offs you guys like to see. These were definitely the ones that came off the top of my head and refreshed my brain. Like these are the ones I want immediately. But I feel like as the seasons and this show continue, there will be more characters I will want to see more of. So let me know what characters or what type of spin-off ideas do you guys have that you think will work very, very well in this Bridgerton universe. I think the possibilities are almost endless with the success they had off of Queen Charlotte. I think almost any spin-off will do very, very well and be successful. Almost any. I'm not going to say every single one, but almost any. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I know the makers and the people behind the scenes of Bridgertons have said that they plan on doing more little Bridgerton stories in the future. So I'm very interested to see what they do next. And of course, I will probably be watching almost any of it. But again, I hope you guys liked this video. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed. And I hope you have a good rest of your day, week, month, and hopefully a good rest of your year. And until next time, bye.